you absolutely can build a profitable business, but also make a difference. Really reflect in why your story matters. Like, why does your product matter? I believe that getting in the media is the fastest way for you to grow your impact and your reach. And if it's on your heart to tell your story or be in the media, and I think San Diego has the best food. It's all fresh, so good.
Welcome back to Flavor Report. My name's Joe Winger. Today we're talking with a groundbreaking woman. She's the CEO and founder of Publicity For Good, Heather Holmes. Check her out at publicityforgood.com. Heather, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining our conversation.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that I kind of get to be a part of this conversation with you.
Well, I'm a big fan because you've helped us facilitate a lot of previous conversations about food and drink and nutrition and all the things we like talking about. So just to get really blunt and straightforward with you right off the bat, what's the most important thing that you want to share with the audience today?
I really want to take away the unknown or worry about getting in the media. I want to make it more accessible to amazing brands and people. So I definitely want to share tactical advice that if someone is listening or reading this, they have a good story in business, they have the confidence that their story is good enough and they could absolutely make an impact and grow their business by getting in the media.
Outstanding. So starting with the basics, let's pretend maybe I have a company and I think I want attention, I want public attention, and I want to reach out to someone like you to get that attention. What do I present to you as a step one?
So step one is really the intentionality of why are you wanting to get in the media, right? Like, what's your goal? Are you wanting to reach more people? Are you wanting to get your story out there? Are you wanting more sales and more people to buy your product? You really need to know where you're going first. And if you don't know where you're going or you don't have a vision, then it's really hard to help you. But if you have clarity there, then we can really pull back and help you identify your story, how you're different, your why, and why your product and or company, would be really great to be in the media.
Great answer. Heather Holmes with Publicity For Good. My question, Heather, is looking at the grand scheme of the campaign, what should, if there's such a thing as an average campaign, which there's not, but as a potential client, what kind of a campaign should we be looking for? Expectations, results, what should we be looking for?
So after we know our outcome that we're wanting to get, more sales, more backlinks, our name in the media, then what I like to do first is work with every entrepreneur, and even if you have a product, to really reflect in why your story matters. Like, why does your product matter? And if you've never been in the media before, I take people through an exercise where I have them draw on a piece of paper, them as a baby, to where they are now. And I have them write the key pivotal moments that have happened in their life that have made them start that company, because those little components are absolutely a part of your story. And that, yes, I've been in the media 700 plus times. Inside Edition, Fox News, the New York Post, incredible media. But it hasn't always been about being a publicist, right? Yes, I'm the founder of Publicity For Good, but a lot of that has been my story, or building a 7-figure company from an Airstream. And now I have almost 2 under 2 with 3 on the way, right? So you need to have your key pivotal moments, because those are things you can talk about in the media. Then we need to look at what's going on in the news and how do we bridge the gap between your product and relevancy. Because let me ask you, how many inbound pitches do you get a day from people wanting to work with you or have their product endorsed? Like, what's that like from your perspective?
I think we do get a lot of pitches. And for me, it is how organized is the pitch? How clear is the pitch? And obviously, is it appropriate? Number one, like, is it the genre that our audience is going to be looking at? But two is it timely? Is it organized? Is this going to be a succinct process? Or is this going to be kind of a slow process and touch and go? So to me, organization and promptness is pretty important.
Yes. But how many, if you had to guess, like how many emails do you get a day,
Oh,
roughly?
literally, I thought you were being
No, really, just
Matt,
like people understand what, like,
high hundreds to low thousands, 700.
is that overwhelming? Like, do you just close your eyes and archive them? Like, how much time do you spend managing
They,
that? Like,
they
what
all
is
get
that?
a they all get a quick blink. I would say the biggest thing, this goes back to the publicist you're dealing with, is have I worked with this person before? Are they
Mhm.
good? Are they fast? Will it be a pleasant experience? I'll tell you that there's genres out there that almost get completely ignored just because they don't bring good traffic, or the people that we worked with in the past, it wasn't a bad experience. It just wasn't an amazing experience. So it comes back to another thing is persistence. If we keep getting them sending to us. But overall, for me, it's the quality of the person I'm working with. So, like the quality of people at your company, for instance, that helps. We go, gosh, we got to give this more attention because it's coming from publicity. It's coming from
Yeah,
Heather.
yeah.
So, so turning it back on you, Heather Holmes from Publicity for Good. People may not know you are a former Miss Ohio International. My question is, now that you're building this amazing company, can you tell us a lesson or two from being a former Miss Ohio International that you're using in today's publicity world?
Yeah. It's really all about your platform and reaching new audiences. And when I was building my company, I decided I wanted to get into pageants. I wanted to meet a community of like-minded people that wanted to make a difference in the world. And it was a way for me to have a platform because at the time I was talking about why you absolutely can build a profitable business, but also make a difference in your community, make a difference amongst your team, and really just build an incredible legacy. So that was why I did the pageants. With that, I did a bunch of publicity. And again, it made me relevant and timely because that was what got me in the media because I was Miss Ohio and I was only Miss Ohio International for a period of time. So it gave me that relevancy. So you have to be relevant. So that means you have to bridge the gap between what's happening in the news, or we often use awareness days, National Nutrition Month, National Social Media Day, and you have to position your product or yourself as the solution, meaning, okay, we were talking about incredible juice brand, but if you have a juice company, most pitches I see are very promotional, right? It needs to be how are you or your product simplifying people's lives? How are you adding value? Or if you don't have a product, you need to inspire people and or give very tactical advice so they can start their own online business too. So
Love that. Now, obviously, you just mentioned your online business. You're growing a seven-figure business and you're homesteading, and I'm going to be dramatic. You're going to make it more realistic. You're living out of a van. So, what's it like growing a huge business while you're taking care of your kids on your left hand side and driving or riding? How, I don't know how big, and I'm not trying to make a joke, I really don't know how big is this Airstream and what's it like living in it?
yeah. So we so a 23-foot Airstream is where I lived for 3.5 years. I went from being engaged or dating to engaged to married to Rose, who's almost two, lived in our Airstream with us. The year of the pandemic was our first $1 million year. And I think a lot of the reason why it was that year is because when March hit, everyone was so scared that we lost about 40% of our business, number one. Number two, we had to hustle and grit to make it. There was no choice of failing, and all the distractions were gone. When you're in an Airstream, all you have is your laptop, and yes, you can watch things online, but we had no external distractions, and then everything else was closed. So the only focus we could do was our business, and we had to scale out of necessity because we didn't want to lose what we had put so much time in. Fast forward though, we now have 22 acres. Where we live is 2 acres. And we have two under two. We have one on the way. We're a full-time team of 40, and it's not easy. I say transparently, it's hot mess express, meaning that there are so many miracles that happen every day, but like life is one, right? Like I can't turn off my founder hat and publicist hat and then like, oh, I'm a mom. Like it's all one. So like, yes, I might have a daughter on a call. Rose might be on a call with me from time to time, but I've learned that the more you step in and embrace your life, who you are, and the realness, sometimes people opt out, and that's okay. And that, like, this is my legacy. I like these missions that we're doing good work for to us is way more than a business. Like, we want to grow your brand and mission, and we take it so seriously. Um, and to me, it's a legacy. So it's not perfect. It's not perfectly scheduled. Um, I mean, I would say I don't know, life is all one, and that I'm a full-time mom all the time. On the weekends when the kids are sleeping, we're working. Like, we know where we want to go. And these like clients and the missions that we're aligned with and supporting are helping people with their health. They're making a difference. So I know it's not like I can just turn it off, but it's not like this like incredible like Pinterest, like life, and it's just like we're in the trenches doing this.
I love it. Heather Holmes, you are an absolute inspiration. Honest to gosh, I've done ghostwriting for probably 10 multimillionaires. And my question is, have you considered writing a book? And selfishly, may I ghostwrite it with you for you? What an
Yes,
incredible book it would be.
I have so much to share. Like I was adopted when I was a week old to having two under two and almost one on the way and building a business and building a homestead. It's so crazy. Like Austin, who's my husband, like the first week we were dating, and we're all about intentionality. But I have the journal and we mapped everything out. Like this year we were gonna get engaged, then married, and Austin and I we will have been together almost like 5 years, maybe, yeah, 5 years total. And now, like, we've had a kid every year. So this year, Rose will be 2 in June, Benaya will be 1 in June, and then we have another on the way. And I'm hoping for June, but like we want to build a business. We want to impact our clients' brands and scale their business. We want our team to get better and flourish in their personal lives too. And I don't know, like this is our mission. And I've seen so many miracles happen from getting in the media on a personal level. I was talking to Regina and her business grew by 40% from getting in the media. And one of my favorite cookie brands, a mom had an incredible heart story. She went in our local news and she brought in $12,000 worth of sales just of local people wanting to support her. So, and on the flip side, when people Google my name, it's like my social currency. Like there's all these articles. So I have so much peace in that. Like our kids will see the good work we're doing. But yes, you can ghostwrite our book. I have
I
so
love
much to share.
it.
Um, so yeah.
Heather Holmes with Publicity for Good. We have time for two last quick questions. You're talking to an audience of foodies. They love good food, they love good drink. What is your favorite meal to have? What do you love eating for guilty pleasure or not?
We just had Indian food last night that my husband made, and it was so good. Oh my gosh. Um, well, we used to live in San Diego, and I think San Diego has the best Mexican food, the best food. It's all fresh, like so good. We've traveled a lot. We've been to Bali. If you ever go to Bali, their food is pretty incredible too. But gosh, favorite food, favorite meal. Where we live is we're right outside of Asheville and Charlotte. So they have some good restaurants, but like I'm not in the phase right now where I'm the foodie like I used to be, if that makes sense. We have chickens and we have fresh eggs. So I'm obsessed with fresh eggs every morning, right? Like that to me is such a legacy and you're living a good life when you can go get your eggs and have them at home with some goat cheese. And honestly, I love liver muff. Crazy. So I'd say some liver muff fried in a cast iron with some eggs and goat cheese. I mean, it's the simple things that I really do love.
What we're learning today is how complex Heather Holmes is. Complex in a good way, meaning there's a lot going on with you. You have a lot of different interests. You're making a difference in a lot of people's lives. Heather Holmes with Publicity for Good. As we wrap up, whether it's a potential client, whether it's a potential vendor, whether somebody out there wants to learn more about you as a CEO, as a female CEO, or get your help with publicity, what are the best ways to find, follow you, website, social media, etc.?
Yeah, so you can go to publicityforgood.com. You can find me on social media as well.
As we're wrapping up, I know we have like 90 seconds left,
Good.
so maybe another time, but is there
Yeah,
anything else that you want to say that we haven't gotten to?
yeah, I would say I believe that getting in the media is the fastest way for you to grow your impact and your reach. We all need to have a social media presence. That takes time. And you could literally be on one podcast, one article, one TV station, reach millions of people. And I believe that you need both. And if it's on your heart to tell your story or be in the media, you know, you need to do it. And I love doing free discovery calls and really helping people. So if you feel called to get in the media, just reach out to me, and we can do a free discovery call.